And I'm Kenner Manti.
Today is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. It is the 133rd day of school, and we have 38 days left after today. Let's begin with our pledges.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please remain standing for the moment of silence. You may be seated.
There will be a Fellowship of Christian Athletes meeting this Friday, April 5th in rooms 111 to 113 from 7 to 7:30 a.m. Everyone is invited to attend.
We have an attendance competition updates for week 1. Our Division 1 winners are Holmes, Johnson, Kaminsky, Ordonez, and Patch with 100% attendance. This D1 matchups are Rettig versus Ordonez, Bays versus Kaminsky, Gaskamp versus Johnson, Gore versus Patch, and Hendricks versus Holmes.
Our Division 2 winners are Bogan, Jasinski, Klepper, Ellison, and Hoffman. This week's D2 matchups are Bogan versus Jasinski, Botkin versus Muraller, Klepper versus Hensey, Ellison versus Hoffman, Gomez versus Maurer.
Our Division 3 winners are Grindle, Kitchen, Carroll and Wheaton, Hetzel and Rogers. This week D3 matchups are Grindle versus Schultz, Kitchen versus Overtons, Carroll and Wheaton versus Nichols, Roger versus Moudry, and Hetzel versus Staples.
Our Division 4 winners are Corn with 100%, DuPont, Campbell, Marcos, and Colby. This week's D4 matchups are Corn versus Morales, DuPont versus Campbell, Bellerson versus Marcos, Gilbert versus Colby, and Miss Jones versus Prahota.
Our Division 5 winners are Barber, Xander, Weiser, Williams, and Teal. This week D5 matchups are Stark versus Xander, Summerlin versus Weiser, Van Hook versus Williams, Taylor versus Warmke, and Teal versus Barber.
Our Division 6 winners are Orr, Dickshot, Miss Finke, Schneider, and Sodorf. This week's D6 matchups are Miller versus Shaw, Orr versus Schneider, Pennywell versus Miss Finke, Reyes versus Mr. Finke, and Dickshot versus Sodorf.
Our Division 7 winners are Caldis, Ms. Schultz, Tuttle, Whalen, and Cassianos with 100%. This week's D6 matchups are Caldis versus Stoles, Fuchs versus Payne, Kurtz versus Cassianos, Ruiz versus Whalen, and Ms. Schultz versus Tuttle.
Lastly, we have a developing story related to the attendance competition.
What were you thinking? This is an attendance contest. It is not a war. If you guys are sending your kids to jail or the hospital, how in the world are you going to win?
We will work to bring you full updates on that story tomorrow.
You can earn a spot at the Blacklight Pep Rally on May 3rd instead of going to class. You can earn 10 points for each of the following: the 5 baseball games, the 3 softball games, the Bells Spring Show, Dress Up Pajama Day, school appropriate of course, the 4 theater performances of Chicago, and Dress Up Roaring 20s Day. That is the total of 150 points possible, and you only need to earn 80. If you do, you get to skip class on May 3rd and head down to the Blacklight Pep Rally instead.
In sports today, we have co-ed JV tennis at Madisonville Tournament, Cadet JV softball at A&M Consolidated at 5, Cadet varsity softball at A&M Consolidated at 6:30, Cub varsity baseball at Rudder at 7.
Happy birthday today to Riley, Jaden, and Cadence.
Lunch today will include the following. In the basket line, we have breaded chicken drumstick with hot roll, Italian spaghetti with hot roll, Nashville hot chicken tenders with hot roll. In the burger line, we have crispy chicken burger with cheese, bacon cheeseburger, hamburger, wings of fire with garlic knot. In the pizza line, we have mozzarella sticks, peanut butter and grape uncrustable, stuffed pepperoni sandwich, and tangerine chicken with fried rice and pork egg roll.
That's everything for today, Cubs. Have a great day.